Hello folks, welcome to Unicorn Light Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thanks for everybody being here. Those of you who are brand new, welcome, welcome. And for those of you who are one of the oldies who keep coming back, thank you for being here and thank you for your support. Just thank you for support in general. Who doesn't need support, right? So today I thought what we would do is support you in a profound way and give you some messages of light and hope and support for the winter solstice. So we're just going to tap into the energy of the winter solstice. It's regardless of what tradition you come from or whatever your beliefs are, the winter solstice really is a very, very powerful time of year. It is the longest day of the year, and it comes with a lot of magic in and itself. So we're looking for messages of love, light, and support in this time of the longest day of the year. And yeah, let's just get right in there and see what we can conjure up for you, what kind of beauty and messages we can conjure up for you. So we have 3 piles as usual. I chose these combs today because I thought they were really pretty. So this is the comb. It reminds me of a wave of the sea, and I love this color. So that's pile 1. The pile 2 comb reminded me of lightning, so I thought that would be great for anybody who loves fire or a fire sign. And pile 3 here is the bow. So if you're giving presents this year, if that's your belief, then bows on the presents or a bow tie or just the energy of sort of inner child or childlike innocence, that reminded me there of that. So that's pile 3. So as always, we're going to take just a moment to clear our thoughts and bring in our spirit guides and ground into our energy. And if you need just to figure out how long you need or what kind of space you need so you can find out which pile resonates with you, then go ahead and pause the video. Do whatever you need to do. Take as much time and space as you need. You can always come back. And the timestamps will be down below as always in the comments section or down below, and you will be able to go straight to your pile for your messages for your convenience. All right, my dears, so let's just pull these away for now. And so pile 1, this is you. So if you chose the wave, this really pretty color, these are your messages from the energy of the winter solstice. So indigo and crystal children. Archangel Metatron, he's one of my favorites too. He also brings in a lot of energy and esoteric energy and knowledge also. So sort of not in charge of, but brings a lot of downloads and helps you update or move through old DNA and into brand new ways of being in the world. So that's a beautiful card there. Nurture. Archangel Gabriel, that's always a good one to get. Let's put this over here. 6 of Summer, children or childhood, the return of people or romantics from your past, remembering events differently. So it's a very sort of childlike energy here. Tradition, Juno, 8 of Swords reversed. Future, these are the fairy cards, I like these, and Dream. So pile 1, the first thing that I'm getting here is definitely the essence of innocence and childhood, to allow yourself to dream big and allow yourself to sort of return to sort of the old ways. Like we have this tradition. Let's be really specific about this though. Traditionally, the card tradition is also about maintaining traditions in some way, shape, or form. But for you, I feel as though this is about recreating and understanding your own traditions, bringing in your own traditions from how you saw things, like certain aspects of your childhood and innocence, and recreating that and instigating that and integrating that into your world. So your message or the energy around you this winter solstice, and this is in some ways timeless. This is the energy around winter solstice, but it's also the energy that will stay with you. It doesn't just leave because winter solstice is sort of dispersed. This is the energy that's going to be coming in and around you and staying with you to a certain degree. So I feel as though what they're asking you to do is to take everything that you loved from your past, your wisdom and your beauty, and the joy that you found, and regain your innocence and integrate that into your future. Now, the one message that I'm getting that's really important for you, Pal Oneers, is that in order to dream, it's to come from a limitless space. So they're saying dream and dream big, and they want you to do that, but they also want you to understand that a limitless understanding or expansion, that's your word, expansion, means that, let's not worry about the outcomes. Let's not worry about how we'll get there. Let's not even worry about what it's going to look like when we get there. So you're being asked to bring in elements of your childhood and joy from it, regardless of the kind of childhood that you had, and bring in the innocence of that, integrate that into new traditions, into your new world, dream big into your future, and love yourself and accept yourself wholly in the present. So there's kind of a past, present, future thing going on here, where you're sort of, I have this vision of you gathering in sort of your wisdom and your memories from your childhood, and how you choose to see your childhood is completely obviously up to you. But they're asking you to choose a time when you were happy and joyful, and to really connect with the understanding of innocence and childhood, and bringing that into the presence, and taking that into the present, and being present in the present, if that makes any sense. And then taking that energy and projecting that into the future with no expectations. So I feel as though the one thing that's happened, the message is coming in for you, is that what you've manifested in the past has either come to fruition and you've figured out that you actually don't want that, or you figured out that you didn't really ask for what you truly wanted, or that you've had a lot of stops and starts recently. Something is promising but doesn't really quite take off. You've had sort of what I would consider half offers. People are interested in certain things, but you're not closing any deals, quote unquote. And they're asking you to reconsider your power in this, to go back to the childlike essence and the joy that you had with the innocence of childlike understanding, the mentality of childlike, the mindset of being a child, and gather in your power from that. What they're saying is the reason why some of those manifestations may have fallen short is not because that you didn't want them, or there wasn't enough energy behind them, and they're being very clear about this, it's not that they won't come to fruition. Some of them are sort of in a holding space but are coming through for you. It's really because the universe or source is waiting for you to catch up with your own energy and walk into your own power. Now, I feel as though the way in which you will do this is to rekindle your innocence, and use that limitless mindset, that limitless innocence, and project that into your manifestation ability. So in order to do that, one must nurture themselves. And this is something that I feel as though you're very good at doing in certain aspects of self. Certain times you're very good at nurturing, but it's not something that you do consistently. What the winter solstice energy is asking you to do is to integrate the energy of nurturing in every moment, in every day. I feel as though you're the sort of person that sets aside time for nurturing, and when you feel as though you really need it, you will make sure that nurturing is integrated into your agenda. And there's nothing wrong with that, depending on what kind of time that we have. Sometimes time is limited, and that's all we have, catch 30 minutes in a bath before the kids come in or something like that. Of course, that's normal. But what they're saying is they're asking you to take the understanding of nurturing and integrate it into every essence of self and belief in oneself. So putting your energy first, putting your power first, putting your innocence first, and redefining what nurturing means to you, and not waiting until you have time to nurture yourself. In every moment, you have the decision to make your life better. In every second, they're asking you to really choose for you, and choose for the betterment of your future. So one thing that you could do is you could actually check in with yourself every time you're making a decision. You can say, is this for the betterment of my future, and check in with yourself. Now it could be, as simple as, what you're going to eat for dinner or whatever. Now, I don't want you to get too obsessed or too anal about this whole thing where you're just checking in absolutely every minute of the day. But on big things and how you live your life in general, just do check in and see where you're at. See if you are doing the best in that moment. If is there something that I can do to make my life a little bit better, to nurture myself in this moment? If you're stuck in traffic and you're getting irritated, I could sit here for half an hour and I can get really irritated. And when I go home, I'll take that energy with me. Or I can sit here and listen to a book on tape. I've been meaning to finish this book anyway. Let's just take this advantage to do that and integrate the knowledge from this book. And again, they're asking you to redefine your own tradition, pulling in from your innocent, pulling in from all of your experiences, taking the wisdom and really moving forward with your sense of tradition, making things your own. So it's a sort of a reclaiming based on your innocence. Now, I do want to be clear here with the nurturing too. It's all about balance. If you're in the mood for junk food and that's what you want that night, please don't make yourself feel guilty. Go out and absolutely do that. It's all about balance and making sure that, balance exists in your life. This is not a suggestion for you to be hyper aware constantly and become a nervous wreck that you're doing everything wrong. Always go with the flow. But in general, they're asking you to check in with yourself and making sure that you're putting your energy first. They're asking you to dream big. And here too, with the indigo and crystal children, this is a general reading. So I'm getting two sort of versions of this. The first version, of course, celebrates what we've been talking about reclaiming your innocence, pulling it in from your past and reintegrating it into your present, which means gathering in your own version of tradition and moving forward in a dreamlike manner, but in a way that serves you. Or for those of you who are dreaming of being future parents or have children already, this may be a suggestion that your children are indigo or crystal children and therefore have some kind of innocence around them. Obviously, children have innocence around them, but they have some kind of message and specific wisdom and beauty that's within your bloodline that will become more apparent in and around you in this time and can be integrated into that tradition. So it's sort of a tier system of traditions coming in from your immediate children, from your childhood, and bringing that in tradition that they can then carry on and take into their lives and their grandchildren's lives and all of that going through. So it really is sort of a bonding moment of the past and really just a message of understanding that what would have worked, what didn't necessarily. And I said, I'm getting the message that it's not that things didn't work for you in the manifestations. It's just that you haven't seen anything really pull through and manifest and flourish the way that you've been imagining things. So there's been a lot of stops and starts for you. And this is another way for you to, and I don't want to say manage your energy, but integrate your energy to pull back and walk right into your power. So I feel as though you've been doing a lot of work on yourself, pile one, and the last part of this is really reclaiming your childlike innocence and your joy and moving into that limitless mind space, and from there gathering your traditions, gathering the way in which you live your life, constantly making decisions from your heartfelt center and intuition, and excuse me, and honoring the children and the beauty around you, and knowing that all of these things that you've been trying to manifest that are about to come into fruition, and some of them, like we've mentioned before, are just on hold, but they're coming in. They're absolutely coming in, and they're coming in from that source, that person or that energy hasn't come back yet. And this holding source has been there for you to really walk into that innocence and that power again. So when all of this comes through and comes into fruition, you'll be seeing it with and experiencing this brand new beginning with innocent and beautiful eyes and just this beautiful sense of self that you are now walking into, and you've been moving towards this way of being for a while. So pile one, please dream big with your innocent and limitless way of being, and remember not to get too grounded or too bogged down with what that will look like, and trust that some of the seeds, a lot of the seeds actually that you've put out there, you've started to manifest. You may have not seen the results yet, but they are coming. They're absolutely coming. So a return to innocence, taking in that innocent energy that may be already around you with childlike beauty. Really listen to that energy and take in that energy too. Allow yourself to be that child. Nurture yourself on a day-to-day basis. Don't wait until you have time to nurture. There's so many different things and so many different ways to integrate the energy of nurturing at any given moment without, again, getting too crazy about it. Relax. Balance happens naturally. Sometimes when we really push to balance, we're working from one extreme to the other. You're not being asked to do that. You're being asked to go with the flow. And if you really, really want true balance, grabbing and pulling that energy of joy from your past and your childlike energy will propel you forward in the way that you want. So I hope these messages resonated with you. I hope your beautiful childlike self can come out to play around this winter solstice and continue afterwards. And I'm very excited to see all of your beautiful beginnings of the manifestations coming back thick and true for you and giving you that beautiful world that you're hoping for. So if this resonated, do feel free to give me a little thumbs up. Let me know in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. I truly, truly do. So pile one, take care and bye-bye. Okay, pile two, this is you. If you picked sort of the lightning, fire energy, doesn't necessarily mean you're a fire sign, but you might have some fire. I'm feeling sort of Sagittarius energy, great fire, but also sort of this mutable kind of like open, let's see what happens. So let's see what happens. So we're looking for messages of love, support, and beauty for the energy around the winter solstice. So here you go. Clairsentience. I love that. Physical and emotional feelings. So, and then chakra clearing. Okay, the Hermit. We have a little, getting some insights here. King of Cups reversed. Three of Pentacles reversed. We have peaceful reversed, and we have knowledge. And this is very much right side up. So the first thing that I can see here, the message that I'm getting for you, pile two, is that you are extremely intuitive and definitely seeing light worker, empath. I do feel as though you've been blocking your energy recently. Now, this could be because you're busy. This could be because there's a lot of things that's come up for you. This is a general reading. There's several different things that are going on. So if some of them apply to you, hopefully this will help you in this reading. There has been a clear out of old ways of being, which has come up thick and fast and has been a little bit overwhelming. There's also been like actual busyness of running around in your life and feeling as though there's just not enough energy or time in the day. There's also been, like we said, the blocks here, I feel as though it's because, and I want to call it sludge, mud coming up from the past. And, I do want to remind you, pile two, that even though you may have be feeling overwhelmed recently, and feeling as though this stuff has been seeping in or been thrown at you like mud, sometimes this happens just before the big break. These energies are actually not returning to you. They're not returning to you at all. They're just coming up for the last time to be released. Now, I know a lot of people say that, things come up so you can release them again. But, sometimes when they come up like this, and you would, if this is resonating with you, you definitely would feel as though a little bit that you're going under. This has definitely been coming up for you in a way that has never really been this strong before. So that's just because they're about to leave. Now, chakra clearing, there's lots of things that you can do to clear your own chakras. I do feel as though that this energy is already starting to dissipate. So the energy around the winter solstice that's coming in is that this energy is going to start to dissipate. That feeling of heaviness, and maybe a little bit of worry and confusion about why this stuff is coming up so thick and fast, is going to dissipate around the winter solstice, and is going to dissipate just afterwards too. Now, for those of you who've been wondering if there's anything that you can do about this energy, and it's, like I said, it's been overwhelming, maybe it's been seeping into your power, this message is for hope. Your spirit guides have given you this so you can have a brand new beginning. Now, this is coming thick and fast. So all of the work that you've done can come together and you can shed it once and for all. Now, the fact that you've been feeling overwhelmed, and the fact that maybe you think it's been sort of integrating into your power and maybe been a little bit debilitating and messing with your power, you're not feeling as powerful. They want to remind you that they're sorry that you feel that way, that you don't feel as powerful, or you feel as though this energy has been, has dissipated and moved into your power and taken away a little bit of your power. But they want to remind you of this. This time is not for moving forward. So for those of you who are a little bit confused and wondering if you should be moving forward and what you should be doing, because this is kind of a confusing time. On one hand, you feel really you feel overloaded, and you feel as though, oh my goodness, what is going on? So much is coming up. I feel like I'm going under. But you also feel the power of it too. You feel as though you feel the new energy coming in, and you feel as though this is the time to move forward. It's kind of a weird sort of dichotomy. It's a weird kind of energy going on. But they want to remind you that big steps are coming for you very, very soon, which is why they want you to concentrate on releasing this energy and giving your space and time to do that. And that's what the Hermit is for. So for those of you who are feeling really confused, and for those of you who are worried about how it's influenced your power, the reason why that's happening is because you're trying to move forward, or you're trying to sort of move, quote unquote, move forward the way that you did before. The universe or source is asking you to do things completely differently. So a lot of you are doing a lot of the old ways of behaving and coping mechanisms in order to deal with what's going on right now. But this is coming up thick and fast because this is just old stuff moving out for good. So of course the old ways of doing things aren't going to work. So there's a little bit of confusion there. But they're not asking you to step forward or move forward in any way. Now, dream big, absolutely. It's a good time to question if everything that you've asked for is enough, quite frankly, because, they're asking you to come from a limitless sense of being, and what you may have wanted to manifest 6 months ago may not be enough. Maybe it shifted. Maybe you want more. Now is the time to do that. Definitely dream big. But what they're asking you to do is to not hold on to any versions of the past or any manifestations from the past, and allow this new beginning to come into fruition. You're not giving yourself the space to allow the integration of knowledge. You're trying to push through, and some of you just maybe don't want to deal with the fact that you're feeling so overloaded. So you're making yourself busier than you need to be, or you're taking on a lot more so you don't have to deal with that aspect of self. But they want to reassure you here that there's nothing bad going on. It just may feel as though you're being overloaded. This actually is it may feel like a large amount of pressure, but it's literally going to dissipate. It's going to dissipate around the winter solstice coming in, and thereafter. I believe there's a new moon coming in just after the winter solstice. So this energy will dissipate all of the old, and you're going to be moving into the new. So all you need to do is to remember to dream big. Allow yourself the space to clear out the old. Stop trying to push yourself into the new until it's coming. I mean, it's coming within a couple of days, but I feel like a lot of the confusion, and for some of you, some of the panic, like, what's going on? Oh my goodness. Like, some of this just can be eradicated immediately if you just give yourself the space to go through this. Do this essence of self properly. Allow yourself the space to really say goodbye to this old stuff and an old way of being for good, and do it with pride, because you've gotten yourself here. This has been years and years of peeling back the layers of all that you've needed to do to get to the crux, to get to the source of all that you've needed to shed. You're now at the source, and trying to move forward right now is just, it's not going to do you any favors. So let go into the space, give yourself the space. Really, I mean, I see you on the precipice of this sort of, this new beginning, and literally just saying goodbye to the old, completely and totally, and honor everything that you've been through. Honor all of your wisdom, honor everything that you've done. You've got the knowledge here. Honor all of the gifts that you have that may or may not be working as well as they normally do. So you're wondering, again, where is my power? What's going on? Why am I feeling overwhelmed? I've trained in this. I should know how to deal with this. It's not about that. It's just your DNA is restructuring itself. Your chakras, everything is clearing out. Allowing for a brand new beginning. Again, this brand new beginning is coming in thick and fast. It's about to come in. So just give yourself this time and really honor, instead of coming in from a sense of, I want to move forward, I want this to end. Really honor where you are and regain your peace. Right now you have the peaceful card, and it's in reverse, but you can regain your peace by seeing what you're going through is very powerful. Regain your power back, and by pulling in your wisdom from your past, and really saying goodbye and honoring yourself for every layer that you've pulled back. You've gotten yourself to this point. It's a beautiful point. It's a point of brand new beginnings. Like, a lot of this stuff that is shifting for you now will not return. It will not return. So give it some space to leave properly. Send it a little party in your head, and send it a sending off party, whatever you need to do. But let go of it and give yourself the space to do that. You don't need to move through right now. Anything that you try to manifest in this time that you've created, if it's a chaotic time, will not manifest and have the sort of the proper lineage, the proper wisdom, the clear-sightedness that you could have if you just stay with yourself and just celebrate all that's falling away right now, instead of seeing it as, oh my God, am I falling apart, or seeing the chaos in it. Just really lean into the chaos for this. Let it go. Celebrate what's going to be left, which is intense wisdom and beauty. And remember to ask yourself, if this is the Three of Pentacles here, if what you have asked for, who you have asked for, what you've wanted before aligns with the new version of you. Don't go after it just yet. Just ask yourself those questions, because the universe already knows. They're waiting for you to get into alignment. Once all of this energy dissipates, and it will be very quickly, your frequency will high. It will out of this world, literally. Your frequency will get a lot higher, and what will happen with that higher frequency is you'll automatically be able to bring that energy to you. So instead of trying to pull it to you, just know that you're about to attract it. But honor where you are and give yourself the space to do that. I feel as though you are action. I can see why you have the lightning now. I can see why you have that fire energy. You're definitely action kind of people. And I love that about you, pile 2. But sometimes the action is to let go and to stand still and allow stuff to happen. You don't have to be in control of everything that's going on. Although I will say, in many ways, you are in control of this, because you've controlled this level of healing and you've brought yourself here. Give yourself the space to honor where you are. You've brought yourself here, and it's not been easy. These brand new beginnings will be easy for you, and all that sort of running towards what you want right now, which may not be in complete alignment with the new you or the new version of being or self that's coming in. Instead of doing that, give yourself the space, and then understand and know in your core being that this energy, whatever, once you match that frequency of what it is that you're going to ask for now, and I suspect a lot of you are going to ask for something much bigger than what you wanted, it's just going to be attracted to you and come right into your being. You're not going to have to chase it. You're not going to have to even move toward it. Your energy's been out there all this time. It's just going to come straight to you. You'll be a match, and then you'll be in it. So, pile 2, I hope this message helped you, and I hope it resonated with you. Do feel free to give me a thumbs up. Check in with me whenever you want. There's so many different videos out there on my channel that can help you. So whenever you feel like you need a little extra help, just tune in and give a listen. And I want to thank you for being here, and take care until we meet again. Bye-bye. Okay, pile 3, this is for you. If you chose the bow tie or the bow on the presents, or just a general sort of innocent, beautiful, kind of childlike energy around this, that's what I see too. Then, and for some of you, I don't know, I just got this sort of vision of a baby boy, birth of a baby boy. Maybe that resonates with some of you. Again, this is general reading, but I'm just going to tell you what I feel. But this is your reading, and we're looking for messages of hope, support, and love with the energies around the winter solstice, the last winter solstice of this decade. So let's get in and see what we have. Spiritual understanding, bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truth. Gifts from God. Oh my goodness, here we go. The sun. Hello, pile 3. All right, so we've got contemplation reversed. We've got Princess of Staves reversed. You've got discipline, and you've got choices. So the first energy and the message that I'm getting for you, pile 3, is that you have a huge amount of power. A huge amount of power that it's not that you don't tap into it. It's not that you've not been working on it. I think there might be, for some of you, and again, this is general reading, so bear with me, but for some of you, you might be slightly afraid of that power, or the power that you have, and slightly afraid of what that will look like in the world. So I feel as though you have this absolutely innate power. It's absolutely unbelievable. You have brought this in from several lifetimes. You have many different traditions ingrained and integrated into your soul. And you, definitely sort of shamanistic, definitely empaths, light workers. But there's an immense amount of power. There's also not just esoteric, but sort of like more traditional forms, like essence of Christianity, but it would be, I'm feeling more sort of Gnostic Gospels, that sort of thing. You have a very, very deep connection to sort of the Bible stories, but in a very specific way on your own terms. You may have even had a past life with Jesus. I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but it's the connection that you have with the Gnostic Gospels, and the connection that you have with the esoteric insofar as higher beings, and particularly angels, is very specific. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that it actually comes from some actual wisdom from being in and around that energy. So you've come incarnated into this body, into this being a body, not felt very comfortable being human. A lot of you would have been like, this human existence, it's kind of crap in some ways, pardon my French, but it's because the wisdom that you have and that you've brought in with you, it's been very difficult to contain within a human body. You've come here in order to learn how to bring that wisdom to sort of the masses, yes, to human society or outside of society, but to the human world, and to help raise consciousness. But I feel as though for you, you're most comfortable when you are an enlightened or a higher being yourself. So being sort of in the human form is it's been quite difficult for you in many ways. Some of you may have felt this and have had health problems, but it's more about the esoteric sense of self. You felt uncomfortable in your own skin and in your own body. Now, there's several different ways that I feel as though you've dealt with this, and we're just going to have a little bit of background, and then we're going to help you deal with this. Is that you've become very disciplined in this lifetime, and somewhat controlled in how you allow your power to come out. Now, sometimes your power has actually come out in the wrong way, not evil or anything like that, but it's sort of leaked out, and it's been quite surprising for you. Sometimes you just sort of like lashed out at somebody, but they really deserved it in that way, and the way in which you handled it, even though you sort of regret the fact that you may have, sort of lashed out at that person, but the wisdom and what you were saying behind them really put them in their place, and they really needed to hear that. Now, I'm not suggesting that you do that necessarily, but that's what you've done in the past. I feel as though the controlled aspect of self, the discipline that you've done with this power, is not working for you anymore. And the energy of the winter solstice is reminding you that you are a gift from God. Yes, you did come here, and you are supposed to be a human being. You're supposed to be a spiritual being, but in a human body. Absolutely. And they do understand the kind of irony of that for you. But they're also saying that you didn't come down here to be completely disciplined. And you didn't come down here to be overly controlling of yourself or of your circumstances. You came into this lifetime to be able to show your power freely and beautifully, and to help others do that. You're actually here to show others that, being powerful is not just beautiful, but it's necessary, and to encourage people to do that. And the way in which you will do that is just by being yourself. Now, I feel as though you're uncomfortable with crowds and uncomfortable with, in public, because you don't always allow all of yourself, your uniqueness, to come out. Like we've said, there's a disciplined, sort of controlled aspect of self, and what that does, it's sort of it dulls down your shine, it dulls down your sun. And I feel as though what you've done in the past is that maybe that you've attracted, or you've seeked out people, or you've sought out people in the past, or groups of people who may be slightly on a spiritual journey, but just didn't have the frequency that you did, and you dumbed yourself down in order to fit in. And you're sort of used to doing that. You're sort of used to dumbing down your energy. Now, you're probably a little bit afraid of your power, but that's because you've never really exposed it properly. But I think what you're also afraid of other people's reactions to you, because in the past, they've not always been positive. Well, here's the thing. Your message from the winter solstice is, and I'm just going to say it just as I was told to say it, so excuse my French, is fuck them, honestly. It's about claiming your power for you, shining it wherever you go, without having to give yourself any kind of parameters or this sense of control, grabbing and integrating your uniqueness and not dumbing that down either. The other thing that you're not keen about doing is showing any kind of vulnerability. Now, you've gotten better at this, Pile 3, you've gotten better at this, of integrating the aspects or certain aspects of vulnerability when you are reaching out, but it still makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable. And what you've not is encompassed the act of vulnerability and see it as something that can actually help you, not hinder you. So embrace your uniqueness, embrace your vulnerability. That's only going to help your power to shine. Stop dumbing yourself down. This is the time to walk into your power. What they're saying is that there's no reason, there's nothing to contemplate anymore. There's really no extra healing that you need to do here, Pile 3. Let's just move this over because I know there's a bit of a shine. There's no extra healing for you to do. The last aspect of healing for you to do, so you can move into and be in place for you to get the benefits that you're supposed to do. So you're supposed to shine in a particular light in this day and age and in this lifetime. And for you to be able to do that, your source, your spirit guides and source are moving you in place for this to happen. And the last thing for you to do is to give yourself choices, to open up your understanding of how your power works and just walk into it without apology. Now, you can trust that you are responsible for your own energy. It's not that you'll never fuck up, but if you do, you will be the first one to apologize and take responsibility for that action and do something with it. You can now trust yourself. I feel as though you're coming from a place of distrust in the past. You distrust your power because you were a little bit afraid of it, because you sensed the powerfulness of it. But you've come in on the other side of that, Pile 3. There's no reason for you to distrust yourself. You've gone through all the shadow work that you needed to. It's now time, and again, your message is walk fully into your power. Integrate every aspect of your power. Stop dumbing yourself down. Show your uniqueness and your vulnerability, and then excuse me, others will walk into their power also, and then you won't feel so alone. The way in which you've been working to slowly pull in and show your power at certain times when you felt quote unquote safe means that yes, you know, you've been working on that, and you've been working with your power and slowly getting used to your own power, but you feel lonely and slightly disconnected sometimes because you don't have that powerful energy around you with others constantly. You may have, you know, groups online, or you may have certain friends that you can, you know, you're not completely alone. But I feel as though that connection, that really beautiful connection that you're here to actually connect and gain in this lifetime, and that I will say that you're owed, and that you will absolutely have in this lifetime, will come to you faster if you come into your power without apology, without trying to control it. There's no need for discipline anymore. Give yourself the freedom and the foresight to walk in again, pull in and see your vulnerability as a grace, as a graceful sort of movement in life, and not be afraid of it. You know, that's not to say that, you know, occasionally you might come across people who don't appreciate your power. You are going to, again, you know, I've sworn in this one more than I have in all of my others put together, but that's pretty much who I'm channeling right now. You know, you might piss off people who will see your power as something that they need to work on, as something that, you know, that's reflective of work that they haven't done. It's not that you will never piss off people, but that's not what you're there to do. Allow them their reaction to you and move on, and don't you dare take that personally, because it's just them and it's not you. So it's not that you're not going to come across these people, but the people that, you know, are not on your frequency and may not like your energy or your power, or may not be appreciated, or sometimes they might be intimidated by it. Those are the people that you're not supposed to work with, or those are the people that you're not here to connect with. Now, if they change their frequency and, you know, things happen, absolutely, all of that can happen, but you're not here to save them. And you're not here to wait for them or create a safe space for them either, for them to do. You're not creating a bad space for them, but if they choose to stay in 3D, let them stay there. Allow them that space for them to choose for themselves. Don't take anything personally and move on. But what you do gain from stepping into your power is people on your own terms, people who shine like you do, people who have stepped into their power without apology and without having to encase it in any way. And that's the kind of connection that you're looking for. And with that kind of connection, you're gonna build this kind of family in this lifetime, and build this kind of I keep seeing a tower that moves further and further up into the sky, and this is the kind of reflection and the kind of family that you're looking for. And this is something that you can absolutely do. So it's about being unapologetic and moving into your power. Again, we want to stress, there's nothing else for you to do. The contemplation is in reverse. You've done everything that you need to do with your power. You've searched out every aspect of your power. It's now time to gather it up. And I have this vision of you literally gathering up your power and moving into your sense of self without apology, on your own terms. So no more apologizing unless you absolutely need to. And you know, there's occasionally a time in your life where you absolutely should step up and apologize. But the amount of times that you apologize is not how many times you should be apologizing. So it's about putting yourself and allowing yourself to attract your soul family who can support you in ways that will allow you and others to shine in this way. So, Pile 3, this is exciting times for you. This is about really pulling in your power and your light, being a beacon of light on your own terms now, and not settling for anything less. And this is your time. Like we said, the contemplation, there's nothing left for you to gather. There's no more information that you need to step into your power. This is your time, pile 3. The energy around you coming into the winter solstice will bring in the energy and the circumstances for you to be able to shine. The new moon will be coming in right after the winter solstice, and that will also secure and solidify all of this new power, or you have this power already, the new way of working with your own power around the new moon too. So this is all coming in for you. I'm really excited for you, pile 3. It's time for you to claim that freedom. Go be you on your own terms. So if this resonated with you, I would love to hear from you. Feel free to give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments. I'm really excited for you, pile 3. Thank you for visiting with me again. And or for the first time, thank you for visiting with me. I would love to see you again. And until we meet again, take care and bye-bye.